Good morning. Welcome to the Struggles Real Prayer Room. And here we are. An awesome Saturday morning. We're reading from the New Revised Standard Daily Devotional Bible. And hope you guys have your coffee and you're ready. We're on day 103 of the devotion. And it is entitled Dangerous Competence. And we'll be reading from 2 Chronicles 25th chapter 1st verse through the 28th chapter 27th verse. And we're reading from the Bible. And it is the King James Reference Bible. Yes. Alrighty. Okay. I hope you guys are enjoying our new look. It's exciting for me. Like I said, for years I've been doing this from my phone, and now I have the opportunity to do it from my computer, and it's just, the screen is so much bigger, and there's so many more things going on, so many things that I'm learning. Yes, so many things that I am learning. Okay, so let's go and find how many out there have been with us since the beginning? When we first started this year in January. We started in Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, Joshua, Judges, Ruth, 1 Samuel, 2 Samuel, 1 Kings, 2 Kings, 1 Chronicles, and now we're in 2 Chronicles. Yes, we are. Okay, let's find 2 Chronicles 25. Okay. 2 Chronicles 25. And if you have the King James Reference Bible, it is on page 681 if we have the same Bible. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. 2 Chronicles 25. Okay. AMAZIAH was 20 and 5 years old when he began to reign. And he reigned 29 years in Jerusalem, and his mother's name was Jehoiada of Jerusalem. And he did that which was right in the sight of the Lord, but not with a perfect heart. Now it came to pass, when the kingdom was established to him, that he slew his servants that he had killed, the king his father. But he slew not their children, but did as was written in the law, the book of Moses, where the Lord commanded, saying, the father shall not die for the children, neither shall the children die for the father, but every man shall die for his own sin. Moreover, AMAZIAH gathered Judah together and made them captains over thousands and captains over hundreds, according to the house of their father, throughout all the Judah and Benjamin, and the numbered them for 20 years old and above, and found them 300,000 choice men, able to go forth to war, that was handled spear and shield. He hired also 100,000 mighty men of valor out of Israel for 100 talents of silver. But there came a man of God to him, saying, O king, let not the army of Israel go with thee, for the Lord is not with Israel, to wit, all the children of Ephraim. But if thou wilt go, do it be strong, for the battle God shall make thee fall before the enemy, for God has power to help and cast down. AHAZ said to the man of God, but what shall we do for the 100 talents? which I have given to the army of Israel. And the men of God answered to God, the Lord is able to give thee much more than this. Then Amaziah separate thee, to wit, the army that was come to him out of Ephraim, to go home again. Wherefore their anger was greatly kindled against Judah, and they returned home in great anger. And Amaziah strengthened himself and led forth his people and went to the valley of Salt, and smote the children of Ser 10,000. And the other 10,000 left alive, that the children of Judah carry away captive, and brought them into the top of the rock, that they were broken in pieces. But the soldiers of the army which Amaziah sent back, and they should not go with him to battle, fall upon the cities of Judah, but Samaria even unto Beth-haram, and smote 3,000 of them, and took much spoil. Now it came to pass after that, Amaziah was come from the slaughter of the Edomites, that he brought the gods of the children of Ser, and set them up to be his gods, and bowed down bowed down himself before them, and burned incense unto them. Wherefore the anger of the Lord was kindled against Amaziah, and he said unto him a prophet, which said unto him, Why hast thou sought after the gods of the people, which could not deliver their own people out of thy hand? And it came to pass, as he talked with him, that the king said unto them, Art thou made of the king's counsel? Forbear, why shouldest thou be smitten? Then the prophet forbeared, and said, I know that God hath determined to destroy thee, because thou hast done this, and hast not hearkened unto thy counsel. Then Amaziah king of Judah took advice, and sent to Joash the son of Jehoahaz, and the son of Judah, king of Israel, saying, Come, let us see one another in the face. And Judah, king of Israel, sent to Amaziah, king of Judah, saying, The thistle that was in the Lebanon sent to the cedar that was in Lebanon, saying, Give thy children to my son to wife. And he passed by a wild beast that was in Lebanon, and trod down the thistle. Thou sayest, Lo, thou hast smitten the Edomites up, and thy heart lifted thee up to boast. Abide now at home, while shouldest thou meddle to thine hurt, that thou shouldest fall, even thee, and Judah with thee. But Amaziah would not hear, for it came from God, that he might deliver thee unto the hand of thy enemies, because thy sought after the gods of Edom. So Joash, the king of Israel, went up, and they saw one another in the face, both he had and Amaziah, king of Judah, and Beth-shean, which he belonged to Judah. And Judah was put to the worst before Israel, and they fled every man to his tent. And Joash, the king of Israel, took Amaziah, king of Judah, and the son of Joash, the son of Jehoash, at Beth-shean, and brought him to Jerusalem, and broke down the walls of Jerusalem from the gates of Ephraim to the corner gate 400 cubits. And he took all the gold and silver and all the vessels that were found in the house of God, and Obed-Edom, and the treasures of the king's house, the hostages also, and returned to Samaria. And AMAZIAH, the son of Joash, king of Judah, lived after the death of Joash, son of Jehoshaphat, king of Israel, 14 years. Now the rest of the acts of AMAZIAH, first and last, behold, are there not written in the books of king of Judah and Israel? Now after the time that AMAZIAH did turn away from the following of the Lord, that made a conspiracy against him in Jerusalem, and he fled to Lachish. But they sent to Lachish after him and slew him there. And they brought him upon horses and burned him with his father in the city of Judah. Now, we just read the 25th chapter of 2nd Chronicles. But I encourage you to go on in your own time and read the rest. When you quiet time, get some music, and just sit down and read 2nd Chronicles 25th chapter, first verse through the 28th chapter, 27th verse. Now we're going to do the meditation, contemplation, and prayer. All right, this morning's meditation is, you say, see, I have defeated Edom, and your heart has lifted up the boastfulness. Now stay at home. Why should you provoke trouble so that you fall? You and Judah with you. 2nd Chronicles 25:19. And the morning's contemplation is, there are two things you should know. First, what, or second, that you are not what you are by your own power. Then you will boast, but not in vain. It says that if you do not know yourself, you shall go and follow the flock of your companion. This is what actually happens when man has a high honor bestowed upon him but does not appreciate it. He is deservedly compared with the beast, with whom he shares his present mortality and state of corruption. It happens too when a man does not appreciate the gift of reason and spends his time with herds of unreasoning beasts, and when he ignores the glory that is within him and models himself on the outward things he senses perceive. And when it is so carried away by curiosity that he becomes no different from any other animal, because he does not see that he has received anything more than they have. And so, we should greatly fear the ignorance that makes us think less of ourselves than we should. But no less, indeed, rather more, should we fear the ignorance that makes us think ourselves better than we are. This is what happens when we are deceived into thinking that some good in us originates with ourselves. Morning's question. Do I tend to think less of myself than I should, or do I think I am better than others? Wow. Let's think about that. Let's just take a moment, think about that. Let's read it again. Do I tend to think less of myself than I should, or do I think I'm better than others? Wow. Just think about that. Am I proud where I should be humble and self-affecting? Where should I be confident? Where does the good that resides within me originate from? Where's the good that's in us? Where does it come from? Yeah, where does it come from? These are good questions. These are really good questions. Yeah. Closing prayer. Every gracious act of giving with every perfect gift is from above, coming down from the Father of light, with whom there is no variation of shadow due to change. James 1:17. Gracious God, you are the source of all things. Forgive us for boasting in those good things as if they originated from my doing. Amen. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so this reading mentions James 1:17. Let's go over there. Let's go over James. James 1:17. Okay. Okay. You know what? You guys follow me, you know what I'm going to say. Let's just go ahead and read the whole first chapter of James. It's not that long. Okay. James, first chapter. James, a servant of God and of the Lord Jesus Christ, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greeting. My brethren, count it all joy when you fall into divine temptation, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. But let patience have her perfect work, that ye may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing. And if you lack wisdom, let him ask God, that giveth all men liberally, and unabrided thee, that it shall be given thee. But let him ask in faith, nothing wavering. For he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea, driven with the wind and tossed. For let not that man think that he shall receive anything of God. And a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. Let the brother of low degree rejoice in that he is exalted, but the rich in that he is made low, because as the flowers of the grass he shall pass away. For the sun is no sooner risen in a burning heat, but it withered the grass, and the flowers thereof followeth, and the grace of fashion of its perish. So also let the rich man fade away in his way. Blessed is the man that endureth temptation, for when he tries, he shall receive the crown of life, which the Lord hath promised to them that love him. Let no man say that he is tempted. I am tempted by God, for God cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempted by any man. But any man that is tempted, when he is drawn away of his own lust and eats, then when lust hath conceived, brings forth sin, and sin, when it is finished, bringeth forth death. Do not err, my beloved brethren. Every good gift and every perfect gift is from above, and cometh down from the Father of lights, with whom is no variableness, neither shadow of turning. Of his own will begot he us with the word of truth, that he shall be kind of the first fruit of the creatures. Wherefore my brethren, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath. For the wrath of man worketh not the righteousness of God. Wherefore lay apart all filthiness, superfluity, naughtiness, receive with meekness, engrave with word, which is able to save your soul. But be ye doers of the word, not bearers only, deceiving your own selves. For if any be a hearer of the word and not a doer, he is like unto a man beholding his natural face in a glass. For he behold himself and goeth his way, and straightway forgiveth what manner of man he was. But whatso looketh into the perfect law of liberty, and continueth therein, he being not a forgetful hearer, but a doer of the work, this man shall be blessed in his deeds. If any man among you seem to be religious, bridleth not his tongue, but deceiveth his own heart, this man's religion is vain. Pure religion and undefiled before God and the Father is this, to visit the fatherless, the widows, and the afflictions, and to keep himself unspotted from the world. And that was 1 James. That's the whole entire first chapter of James, if you guys want to go and read that. And that was written. I read that from the King James Reference Bible. Yes. So you guys, tell somebody about the goodness of God. How Jesus went to the cross for us all. Share what you read. If there's anything that you remember, if there's any passage that you think that you want me to go back and read it, let me know. We have since January of this year, we started in Genesis, and now we are in 2 Chronicles. Yes, that's where we are. And so tomorrow we'll be on day 104 of the devotion, and it's entitled Dependent on God. 2 Chronicles 29 chapter, first verse through the 32nd chapter, 33rd verse. Tell somebody about the goodness of God and how Jesus went to the cross for us all. Share your personal testimony. Get out and do God's will. Go in peace.